Hi, welcome back to Coaching in PJs. My name is Pamela S. Thibodeau. I'm your life coach, and today we're going to talk about the importance and the value and the benefits of writing things down. Now, I'm not talking about writing things down because you have the common ailment known as CRS or can't remember stuff. What I am talking about is the benefits of writing down your goals, your dreams, and your aspirations. As a life coach and a journal therapy coach, I have found this to benefit greatly my clients who pursue and make writing things down, writing their goals and their dreams down, a habit, a daily habit, a weekly habit. However, staying consistent is the key. Now, I go through spurts myself. I may journal daily for months and then not journal daily for months, but I always go back to it because it is so beneficial and it's so powerful. Now, studies have proven that people who write down their goals and dreams and aspirations have a 40% better chance of achieving these things than those who don't. Studies have also proven that people who write things down and get an accountability partner and report to that partner weekly or monthly or biweekly on a regular basis have a 76% chance of achieving their goals and dreams that they've written down. So wouldn't you want those higher odds on your side? I know I do. Okay. So what can you do? What can you write down? How can you get started? Okay. Let's just start with something simple. Write a gratitude list. Okay. You can get a pretty little journal at the dollar store, a couple bucks, and start a gratitude journal. This is the simplest and the quickest way to start changing your circumstances. Okay. Start with 3 things that you're grateful for every morning and every night. All right. Now you can expand on this, read books. There's books like Think and Grow Rich by Pam Grout. The Gratitude Jar by Josie, I can't remember her last name, but I'll have the messages, I'll have the links to those books in the blog post that goes along with this video. And the links to that will be in the show notes. But anyway, let's get back to the study here. Dr. Joe Dispenza says, whatever links in the brain sinks in the brain. So when you write things down, it cements that idea in your mind. Okay. So you can start with gratitude or start with something else. Do you have a habit you'd like to change? Write it down. Write down what it is that you'd like to change, some ideas on how you're going to change it. Are you going to study, or are you going to write affirmations? Or are you going to meditate and pray? Or what are you going to do? Steps are you going to take to reach that goal of changing that habit? And for how long? Most studies say 30 days, 40 days. It takes 30 to 40 days to change a habit or to implement a new habit. Okay, so give yourself some grace, but give yourself some time for this to make a difference in your life. I remember one time when I was frustrated with my book sales and royalties. And I just threw up my hands and I said, Lord, I'm done. I have done everything I know how to do. I'm leaving the promotion up to you. And every day for 40 days, I just wrote an affirmation. I am an anointed and successful author. That was it. And my royalties doubled that next quarter and the quarter after. Now, there was a lot of other stuff that went along with that, but that was the thing, was I wrote it down. As a writer, I know the importance. As a coach, I know the benefits. So I'm talking to you kind of as both. But here is another idea. Don't just write it down, but leave some space and write it out in as much detail as you can. I mentioned this in the video about stress, about dealing with stress, holiday stress, and how you could imagine the greatest, most loving, most joyful family gatherings, and to write it all out as much as you can, and then to look at it every day and imagine it being that way, your gatherings being that way, and it would help alleviate some of the stress from holidays. So, but this works the same way, even if it's not a stressful situation. So if it's a goal, it's a dream, it's something you want to achieve, write that down, write down the steps you're going to take, but flesh it out with as much detail as you can put in there. Your five senses. What are you wearing? What are you smelling? What are you seeing? What are you tasting? Where are you? Another thing would be, when this happens. But another way of writing things down is to write it down as though it's already happened. So, I am so happy and grateful now that whatever this goal or dream was is already been achieved. Here I am on such and such date, 5 months from the day I started, or 6 months, or 2 years, or whatever you think is reasonable for your brain to believe, and fill out the details. I'm celebrating with my family. We are eating dinner. We are wearing this. I am drinking champagne, whatever, whatever. Get as much of your five senses in that detailed description as you can. That's a wonderful way. That is also known as living from the end. And that's a technique taught by Neville Goddard. Now, everybody's different. Everybody wants to achieve different things. Not everybody agrees with this. Not everybody agrees with writing things down. Some people can't stand the thought of writing things down, and that's okay. That's okay. If you have some other way of keeping track of your goals, do so. But give it a shot, give it a try, and I promise you that if you continue to write things down and flesh them out and meditate and pray on them, you will have a much better chance of achieving your goals and living a happier and more fulfilled life. I thank you for your time. I hope this video was beneficial to you. If you like my content, please like, subscribe, and share the videos with people that you know and love. If you'd like to support this channel, there are links in the Coaching and PJ's blog and on the website, and those links will be in the show notes for that opportunity. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one, my email address is in the show notes. Until next time, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and be kind. Be kind to one another, and I pray that your kindness returns to you 100-fold.